Ladies and gentlemen, as we are resuming our program, I would like to draw your attention to our podium. And I would like to request Pan Kyon Choi to resume his presentation.
Going. As for today's presentation, fourth part, we are going to talk about discount rate for insurance liability. On this slide, we are looking at top-down approach to measure discount rate insurance liability valuation. For this method, discount rate is equal the expected return of company's asset portfolio, which either actual portfolio or reference portfolio, minus factors unrelated to insurance liability cash flow. As factors unrelated to insurance liability cash flow, we have to consider credit and market risk premium. For debt instrument, we have to deduct expected credit loss and the market risk premium. For equity instrument, we have to eliminate expected return on investment risk. We also should consider duration mismatching of asset and liability. It is a measure to adjust difference in cash flow generation for both asset and liability. Insurance own default risk is not included. The reason why, if own default risk is reflected, the discount rate will rise when the insurance company's crediting rate falls, reducing the insurance liability. On this slide, about bottom-up approach for discount rate. For this approach, discount rate, risk-free rate, interest rate plus liquidity premium. Why liquidity premium should be added? As you already know, treasury bond market is a deep and liquid market that allows trading without significant trading transaction cost. Why? Insurance contract liability are generally not traded, but surrender penalty amount deducted when the contracts are canceled. Next picture is about comparison between two approaches. Left side, for top-down approach, we started from asset portfolio expected return rate of return. And we deduct market credit risk and consider duration mismatching of asset and liability. Right side is about bottom-up approach. It is methodology for Korean SEP. Discount rate is risk-free interest rate plus liquidity premium. This table is about the structure of discount rate in SEP. We have to measure discount rate by 3 steps. First one is risk-free interest rate for unobserved period. And second one is for unobserved period. And then we should add liquidity premium to risk-free interest rate. For observed period, we have to decide type of market. Regulation prescribe rational treasury bond to be risk-free interest data. And we also should decide last liquidity point, what's called LLP. Last liquidity point means the period which there is credible interest rate data in the market can be found easily. In Korean national bond market, 20 years maturity bond was passed DLT test. DLT test means deep liquid transparent test. Deep means mass transaction cannot give any important impact on the market price. And liquid means we can trade bond without any important cost. And transparent means it is easy to get access information about the transaction. In Korea bond market, Korea national treasury bond market, 20 years maturity was passed through DLT test. That is the reason why we decided LLP to be 20 years. And we also measure risk-free interest rate for unobserved period. We have to extrapolate from LLP to convergence point of future. So we need extrapolation method. And we decide to use Smith-Wills method. I'm going to explain about the method on the next slide. And also we have to reflect ultimate forward rate, what we call UFR. We applied 4.8%. Ultimate forward rate consists of real interest rate plus long-term inflation expected ratio. It was 4.8%, and it should be adjusted annually. But there is a limitation by 15 basis points. I'm going to explain about that. And first convergence point of UFR is 60 years. It means this free interest rate term structure from LLP to 60 years will be measured by Smith-Wilson extrapolation method. And finally, the liquidity premium is equal represent portfolio risk spread minus credit risk spread. We are going to look at the definition of a liquidity premium on the next slide. This slide is the illustration for risk-free rate for insurance liability valuation. Every month, FSS should provide this discount rate term structure to insurers, and the insurers should apply the term structure to value their liability. The dotted line is forward rate, and blue line is spot rate. For the dotted line, from time zero to LLP is forward rate, which can be found in current general bond market, national bond market. From LLP to UFR point, we have to use extrapolation method. And by this method, we can draw the dotted line. And then finally, we convert the forward rate to spot rate. And then we provide insurers with spot rate monthly. This slide is about Smith-Willis method. It is extrapolation method. First, we have to estimate yield curve so that observed value match. And UFR and the conversion speed should be determined, external input, by the next bottom formula. And we have to error range should be inside 1 basis point to reach UFR. You can refer this slide later. I'm going to skip today. On this slide, we are going to look at the liquidated premium. As I already explained, liquidated premium is equal to the representative portfolio risk spread minus credit risk spread. To measure representative portfolio risk spread, we are collecting the insurance data quarterly, and then we make liquidated premium and provide insurance. Representative portfolio risk spread is based on representative portfolio of insurance industry, credit rating, and spread by maturity of bond, such as corporate bond and specialty loan. Left table is about risk spread. We are gathering risk spread data from insurers by this format every month. Risk spread is measured by credit rank and maturity. The data inside the risk spread is from insurers, and then we made average risk spread every month and provide insurance. Right side is about the representative portfolio of insurance industry. We also need this information to calculate the liquidated premium. So there is a reason why insurers submit every month to regulator. Credit risk spread is weighted average of credit risk spread of credit rating and maturity based on representative portfolios of insurance industry. Next formula is about liquidated premium. There is final product of our FS job. Liquidated premium is calculated by some product of risk spread minus credit risk spread, weighting by the asset proportion by credit rating. This slide is about creating process of discount rate scenarios. It consists of 4 steps. First step is performed by FSS as regulator. After second step, insurers should perform based on regulation. As first step for calculation of basic discount rate curve. For this, I already explained on the former slide. We draw risk-free yield curve. We use market interest rate financial investment association first. Rank it 20 years, as I explained, last liquidity point observed in market. And then we add liquidity premium from former slide to risk-free yield curve. And then connect from last liquidity point to UFR. We provide this basic discount rate curve. We provide insurance with basic discount rate curve every month. And then insurers should make next steps. Second step is selection of interest rate scenario model. As I already explained, regulation prescribe interest rate scenario model should be Hall-and-White one-factor model. Hall-and-White one-factor model is a model which calculates interest scenario matching price swaption trade in the market. To do this, insurers should decide parameters calculation of interest rate model. We are now, insurers are using now swaption price data for maturity from Bloomberg system. Now, in the past, Bloomberg systems data was free, but they are now charging for the data. So many Korean insurers are changing to other source, like Regulator. And measure, we have if you look at the Hall-and-White one-factor model, you have to decide regulation alpha and target interest theta and volatility sigma. You have to decide 3 parameters. So insurer have to find the 3 parameters value by minimizing difference between theoretical price and the actual price. And then finally find target interest rate theta, which fits discount rate curve. It is financial engineering part. So the experts are doing that. And as final step, we have to create the interest rate scenario. Regulation requires insurer to use at least 1,000 scenarios. So insurer generate random numbers to create interest rate scenario and generate probabilistic interest rate scenario according to parameters and random numbers of interest rate scenario. By using these scenarios, 1,000 scenarios, insurers should insure liability as the probability weighted average present value of 1,000 scenario-based liability. This slide is about the Horinet one-factor model. You can refer to later. As we already look at the on the former slide, insurers should decide 3 types parameters and value liability based on 1,000 scenario. So they have to make documents for their procedure to apply interest rate scenario. Regulation prescribes the contents of the report. So, and then the insurer should submit the report every quarter to their executive committee. The report consists of parameters and random number and market price explanatory power. For parameters, report should include algorithm availability. It means whether infrastructure of parameter calculation is properly find parameters, which explain theoretical price of financial product. And second, market price explanatory power. Insurers should compare price calculated by scenario and the market price. Third one, estimated stability. It is measured by whether parameters for different periods are quite consistent when artificially changing market data for several periods. And report should also include the normal distributions verification. For interest scenario, I think random number is the most important factors. The quality of random number is most important selling point by scenario generators. Normal distribution should be it is about whether random number reflected on scenario calculation are generated according to standard normal distribution. And market price explanatory power, compare price, calculate scenario parameters, random numbers, and actual financial product price being traded in market. Every quarterly, insurers should submit the report to their committee. This slide is about recent improvement for discount rate. Recent improvement for discount rate will make discount rate move downward. It will be burdensome for insurers because low discount rate term structure make valuation increased. Recent improvement is focused on three parts: last liquidated point, and ultimate forward rate, and liquidated premium. For last liquidated point, we extend from 20 years to 30 years. It will be by 2025. That was because the difference of RFP between asset and liability resulted in effectiveness by ALM. It means the 20 years RFP point for liability was different from 30 years asset duration. So in terms of ALM, the difference make effectiveness lessened. For ultimate forward rate, as I already explained, we adjust ultimate forward rate, UFR, annually, but there was a limitation by 15 basis points annually. The limitation in the width of the change of UFR forced UFR to follow slowly market interest rate. In recent years, market interest rate changed a lot, but 15 basis point limitation made the UFR follow slowly the market interest rate. So we extended the limitation from 15 basis point to 25 basis point. It is annual width of adjustment. Thirdly, liquidated premium. Liquidated premium is calculated by various factors. We changed the definition and calculation of two factors. First one is personal loan. For personal loan, the spread of personal loan is now matched to spread of corporate bond. It means the spread measured indirectly from corporate bond. But it leads increase of fluctuation. Even though the spread of personal loan is not changed, the fluctuation in spread of corporate bond was severe. So the spread of personal loan was also severe fluctuation condition. we changed the spread of personal loan a little bit directly. So we measure directly liquidated premium by using spread of personal loan, which is recently issued the same credit rating. For credit risk spread, what we call CRS, current CRS definition doesn't include credit loans beyond expectation. So, which leads to increased liquidated premium. It means liquidated premium is risk premium minus credit risk spread, lower credit risk spread, higher liquidated premium, and will reduce liability value. So we incorporate to improve the CRS, like expected credit loss. And therefore, CRS is the PD probability of default plus cost of default value and the long-term average spread, the maximum value of two values. And so credit risk spread will be down, the liquidated premium also down. As final part, we are going to talk about Korean insurance capital standard. The reason why I introduced KICS is because the SEP and PEP is mostly from KICS, the valuation concept. On this slide, I'm going to explain the background of KICS and the schedule. We prepared KICS from 2013. It was same year for IFRS 17. We performed the preparation simultaneously for KICS and IFRS 17. Before implementing KICS, we took part in ICS setting group of IAIS. I'm going to explain about the schedule of ICS on the below picture. The new Korea Insurance Capital Standard has replaced the RBC. RBC was based on US RBC. It was based on cost-based approach and estimated the insurance liability based on new KICS estimate estimate the insurance liability based on market valuation. KICS benchmark, as I already said, benchmark ICS and Solvency II. This regime includes stressed approach to measure required capital, and we also increased competence level from 99% of RBC to 99.5%. And we also added a lot of various kinds of risk, such as lapse risk and expense risk. Even though we benchmarked from ICS and Solvency II, KICS includes several modifications, and it is tailored by Korean insurance industry. For example, using statistical data specific to Korean insurer, we adjusted some of risk stress factors to be suitable for insurance industry. Next picture is about ICS and KICS schedule. Firstly, for ICS, it started 2014 December. IAIS issued ICS first consultation paper, and June 2016, second version was issued. And in 2017, ICS version 1 was announced, and 2018, version 2 consultation paper was issued, and 2019, ICS version 2 was announced, and now ICS performing monitoring period for ICS version 2, and then finally IAIS adopt ICS as a PCR of IAIG. IAIG means internationally actively insurance group. In terms of KICS, we started March 2016. We announced a master plan for KICS, and March 2017 issued consultation paper, and 2018 April announced KICS version 1, and 2019 version 2, 2020 version 3, and 2021 version 4, and finally we implemented KICS in 2023. On this slide, you can look at the illustration of available capital. I'm gonna skip today. You can refer later. On this slide, I'm going to talk about characteristics of KICS. Focusing on valuation of asset and liability. RBC system utilizes a statutory financial statement. But in RBC regime, the valuation methodology for asset and liability were different. So accurately evaluate the net asset value become difficult when there are change in economic condition, like fluctuation in interest rate. So some insurers could make artificial net asset by increase the duration of asset compared with duration of liability. It was possible due to the valuation difference between asset and liability. Asset under IBC, asset was measured by fair value, but liability was calculated by cost base, based on cost base. So insurers could make artificial net asset. But in KICS utilized financial statement for prudential supervisory purpose. By evaluating asset and liability at fair value, it becomes feasible to manage solvency ratio volatility, irrespective of market condition or first decision. It is because both asset and liability should be valued based on market value. And while international accounting standard focus on separately valuing asset and liability without considering their relationship, KICS aim to minimize capital volatility. Therefore, it is crucial to comprehensively consider both asset and liability and consistently value them and to establish a unified standard. It means in terms of IFRS 9, some financial instrument valued valued by amortized method, but in KICS, all asset and liability should be valued based on market base. On this slide, characteristics of KICS for required capital. KICS measure risk amount with 99.5% confidence level over 1 year time horizon using bar method. As you can see from bottom picture, total requirement consists of 5 types risk: life, health insurance risk, and general insurance risk, market risk, credit risk, operational risk. The types of risk is similar to both ICS and Solvency II. The life